That's wrong on so many levels.
I'm a Capricorn and she's a Cancer.
Now that's a complex flavor. They knocked this one out of the park. It's going down and we'll see if I'm floating afterwards.
Banana-y, banana-ish, banana-like.
Good morning on this warm Monday morning where it's currently 91 degrees at 8 a.m. You know, when it gets this hot like it's supposed to be today, you gotta do everything early. The hottest hours of the day today are between 3 and 5 p.m. when it's supposed to be about 107. Right now it's in the 90s. I got a lot of stuff to do today. I gotta do it before it gets too hot. I'm trying out these new sunglasses for frequent reviews. It attaches to your hat like that. They're like flip-up glasses that attach to your bill of your hat. I'm just trying them out for the first time now, so I'm not sure I like them. If you're wondering what glasses I'm wearing, do they look crooked? I can't tell. Anyway, on today's agenda, I'm hoping to do 3 taste tests. 2 ice creams and 1 soda. I have to run to several places before I can actually do that, so I'm hoping to A, get all my stuff done, and B, try out these glasses while I'm doing it, so I'm kind of double dipping today. It's days like this I wish I had grass. Grass is a pain in the butt and not really that responsible to use out in the desert during a drought. Grass is a lot cooler and more comfortable to sit on the rocks. They ain't comfortable. I remember I lived in California when I was a teenager. Me and my brother had to split duties mowing the yard. And inevitably, whenever one of us mowed the backyard, my dad didn't realize that we saw him, but he was always standing inside behind the tinted windows watching us mow to make sure we were doing it right. He thought he was hiding, but we could see him when the sun came in. And he was pretty particular about how we mowed the yard, which made me think, if you're so particular about it, why aren't you doing it? I was never a fan of mowing the yard, which is one reason I rock. Man, it would just mess with my allergies. I get all dirty. But for some reason, I always insisted on showering before I mowed the yard, and then I'd shower again afterwards. Like I had to start off my day clean, even if I was gonna get dirty right away. You know, it's funny, I've had people in the comments over the years say, oh, poor dogs. They have to walk around on rocks. They don't know what grass is like. I've taken my dogs to dog parks. They don't like the grass. They're not used to it. It freaks them out. When I've taken Bailey to the dog park, she gets all weirded out by the grass. So don't feel sorry for Bailey for not having no grass. She's a desert dog. She was born and raised, and she's gonna spend all of her days in the desert. And rock is all she knows. And when I try to introduce her to grass, she ain't like it. I would like to take her to the beach though. I don't know how she probably wouldn't like it though. You know, like I had this fantasy in my mind about how Bailey would react to the beach. Something tells me that she would freak out and not like it. Anyways, what am I even talking about? I'm rambling, but I'm gonna head inside, get myself ready, and I got a lot to do today. Testing these out, 3 taste tests, let's go. I'm about to head into Whole Foods to get the ice cream I'll be testing later. You know, I don't go to Whole Foods very often because there really isn't one near my house. I probably haven't been in a Whole Foods in like 2 or 3 years. Every time I go into Whole Foods, I always feel like I'm an outsider. I feel like everybody there are regulars. They know the system, and I always feel completely lost when I go in there. Like I don't feel like I do anything right. I don't know where anything's at. It's like everybody in there are the cool kids, and I'm an outsider walking through their part of a school campus or something like that. Anyways, time to head inside and feel like a not cool kid. All right, so Whole Foods, I found what I was looking for there, so I'm happy about that. Now all I have to do is head over to Wendy's when they move to their lunch menu and for my first taste test. You know, when you drive, weird stuff enters your mind. So for some reason, I was thinking about this. There's a point in everybody's life where, at many points usually, where some part of their life ended up being a lie. Something that was important to them ended up being not real. When I was a kid, 2 of my favorite albums were Kiss Alive and Kiss Alive 2. I listened to those things. I ground them to almost nothing. I ground those albums to dust. Years later, as information became more readily accessible, turns out those albums weren't so live after all. They're like fake live albums. I think the drum parts were real and the rest mostly wasn't. It was like some of it done on a soundstage, some redone. It was like fake live. Very disappointing. I still like those albums, but they're a little bit tainted now that I know they're not completely live. But speaking of Kiss, I saw the other day that Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley were inducted to the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Now, I love Kiss. I even love Gene and Paul despite their laundry list of personal and professional flaws. But great songwriters, even as someone, Kiss was my most listened to group a couple years ago on Spotify, which mortified me. I was embarrassed by that, but they were.
because I listened to their entire discography that year. But great songwriters, I don't know about that, man. She's a dancer, a romancer. I'm a Capricorn and she's a Cancer. I mean, they ain't no Lennon and McCartney. They ain't no Rodgers and Hammerstein. They certainly were inducted for their moving lyrics. I mean, let's not forget about Christine 16. I'm happy for them, but I question the Songwriters Hall of Fame if they let them in there, and I'm a fan of them. But after this, I'm off to Wendy's for my opening act taste test before the main event. You know, I was so excited to find this at Whole Foods. I didn't check the price until, Bailey! I didn't check the price until after I left. Yikes! Did I just pay that? Well, I'm sure it'll be good, but man. For the preliminary act of my taste test today, I've got the new Banana Frosty Swirl from Wendy's. I've got the vanilla and chocolate versions. And it's about 5,000 degrees in this car, even though my AC is on. I better get to them fast before they melt. Looks like the vanilla is starting to melt faster, so I'm going to go with that one first. Here's what we got. We have now this is tied into the Minions promotion they have going on, and it's just banana flavor swirled in there. Here is the chocolate. Time and heat are not your friends when you're trying something that melts in the car, in the desert when it's forecast for 107 degrees. So no preliminaries, I'll talk about those later. No small talk, taste test first. Good banana flavor. It's that fake banana flavor, but I don't mind fake banana flavor. It's strange that banana kind of comes in later. It's not prominent at first, but by the time you've swallowed, you got nothing but banana flavor in your mouth. Some bites obviously are more banana-y than banana-ish, banana-like. Some bites have more banana than others, obviously, because it's swirled in there. When you get a big old mouthful of banana though, it's quite good. I think we've all become kind of accustomed to like associating that somewhat artificial banana flavor with real banana, even though they're not quite the same thing. It's like top tier fake banana flavor. It's like good fake banana. There's bad fake banana and good fake banana, and this is good fake banana. All right, let's try the chocolate next. The chocolate seems a lot firmer than the vanilla. There must be their machines. I'm getting chocolate. Where's the banana at? I gotta hunt down some banana in here. Man, when you get a big bite of that banana, that's good. Which one I like better, the chocolate or the vanilla? Let's see. Chocolate first. Vanilla next. I think the banana stands out in the vanilla a little bit better because the chocolate kind of competes with it. But on the other hand, chocolate and banana is a great combination. So when you get a good spoonful of both of those, they rock. That's right. All right, well, those are pretty good. They were $3.50 a piece for a small, which everything is expensive now, so I'm not even gonna comment on how expensive that is. Well, I guess I just did. If you're a fan of banana, if you don't mind fake banana, I should say, and if you're a fan of Frosties, you gotta grab one of these. I don't think you can do wrong with either one of them. I would say the banana is a little bit more prominent than the vanilla, but the blending with the chocolate is a little bit better. So I would eat this one probably first over this one. But if you're a purist and want banana, go with this one. And with that, it's time to head home for my real taste test. That's next.
You wanted the best and you got it. The hottest channel in the world, Freakin' 2!
Welcome back to the latest Freakin' 2 food and drink taste test. On today's menu, we've got some interesting items. So let's jump right into the first one, which is one I've really been waiting for and looking forward to trying out. That is the Mr. Bubble Craft Soda. Now, this was going around on Facebook. They had a batch of this a few months ago, I think, and it sold out. They came back with it for the round 2, and I got one. This is supposed to be a limited edition craft soda to mark the 65th anniversary of Mr. Bubble. 65th anniversary. That's not usually when people celebrate that often. Maybe if you're retiring, but for a product, 65, interesting. I don't know. But the flavor is bubblegum, and they say there's no artificial dyes or sweeteners. One can is 100 calories. It's branded like the actual Mr. Bubble. It says limited edition craft soda, celebrating 65 years. Bubblegum, there really isn't much detail. Up here it says no high fructose corn syrup. Ingredients, carbonated filtered water, cane sugar, natural flavor. Okay, so let's crack this open. Well, that's, that smells like gum. Let's just take a look at some of the color here. Oh, it's pink too. They say no artificial dyes. Is that a real color? I'm gonna try out of the can. Here we go. You know what's funny? It tastes like gum, first of all. Fairly accurate gum flavor. But you know what's funny, what it tastes like to me? When I was a kid, I used to buy baseball cards that had those gum strips in there with like the sugar on them. You almost taste like that powdered sugar on it.
I don't think it's there, but it's almost, my mind is going there. That's what it tastes like. Even though it's cane sugar and no artificial sweeteners, it's pretty sweet. Let me compare it to some actual gum here. Hubba Bubba. Compare them together. The same flavor. I forget how big Hubba Bubba is. That's like the same flavor. When I drank the Mr. Bubble soda on top of that, the flavor didn't change. It's the same flavor. Certainly a novelty flavor. It's not the kind of thing you really reach for when you want a refreshing drink. I was at the store looking for bubblegum flavors, and I know there's some out there, but they're not that easy to find because it's not a real popular flavor. I mean, I don't think it's something people really want to drink a lot of bubblegum flavor soda. But I will say that they nailed the flavor. It is quite sweet, but I guess I wouldn't expect otherwise. It's certainly a dessert soda. What's interesting though, I think that if this was in store shelves, it probably wouldn't sell very well. But being a limited time, tied into a bubble bath, it's kind of a novelty factor. But taste-wise, it's accurate, but I wouldn't drink it very often. I swear it tastes like that powdered sugar on the old baseball gum. My mind's playing tricks on me or something. Cool to try out. I like the can. I might even save it, but I wouldn't try it again. Speaking of desserts and the fact that I forgot to have that light on for the first part of this video, let's move on to the next main course with this taste test, the Guinness flavored ice cream. That's right, it is the Van Leeuwen Lovely Day for a Guinness. Take a look at the packaging here. They do say it's limited edition. Guinness flavored ice cream with chocolate chunks. If I ate the entire container, 800 calories, I'd be wrecked. Now this is not alcoholic. It's supposed to have a malty, earthy essence of Guinness, balancing the bitterness with chocolate. This is exclusive to Whole Foods, which is why I went there earlier. Let's crack this open now. Does it smell like Guinness? I don't think it smells like Guinness. That doesn't mean it won't taste like Guinness though. Well, you can't have any ice cream, I'm sorry. But there's nothing really special looking about the ice cream, but it does look like ice cream with chocolate in there. This one I'm curious about. Here we go. Now that's a complex flavor. When it first went in, I was like, I don't know about this. But as everything kind of coalesced in my mouth, so to speak, it actually is quite good. There's a hint of Guinness in there. And that hint is all you really need. The chocolate chunks do kind of balance out that Guinness flavor very nicely. It's like a chocolate Guinness. It is kind of malty, almost nutty in a way, with that kind of Guinness flavor kind of hiding in the background and the chocolate balancing out. This is good stuff. Whole Foods had these Guinness cans on display near the ice cream. It also says lovely day for a Guinness. Let's pair them. Why not? It's only 11 o'clock in the morning. Guinness with Guinness ice cream. They pair well together too. Let me try it again. Wow, that is so good. It's creamy. The texture is really nice. The flavor is pretty complex and quite delicious. Now, an actual Guinness is much more bitter than this ice cream is. But the core flavor profile is there in this ice cream. But then you add sugar and chocolate on top of it. It changes a little bit, but the core flavor is still there. They knocked this one out of the park. Too bad it's limited edition because this is good stuff. And they pair well together. I wonder how well it pairs with the Mr. Bubble. Let's try that. Guinness ice cream and Mr. Bubble. The Mr. Bubble just takes over and just throws a Guinness out the window. Let me try that again. That's wrong on so many levels. I would say the Mr. Bubble probably makes the Guinness ice cream not taste quite as good, but the Guinness ice cream makes the Mr. Bubble taste a little bit better. Not a pairing I would recommend, but interesting to try out. Now, it's only 11 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to start getting too hardcore with alcohol. But let's say I wanted a little bit of a mood boost. That's what this next item, which is a complete throw-in. I wasn't even planning on doing this one until I saw it at Whole Foods. That's what this one's going to supposedly help us out with. Let's try the Hiyo Pineapple Coconut drink next. Here it is, Hiyo! Organic pineapple coconut, and they say it's social tonic. Now, Hiyo's claim to fame is that it supposedly has a float effect, which is supposed to be a mild mood-boosting sensation. And that's supposedly achieved by things like adaptogens and nootropics and botanicals. Supposedly it's USDA certified organic, 30 calories per can. It's also vegan and gluten-free and all that other good stuff. But you know what though? None of that matters if it doesn't taste good. I'd never heard of this until today. I saw a display sitting out, so I figured I'd grab it. And I grabbed the flavor that I thought I'd be most interested in, pineapple coconut. I'm guessing that's it's dyed yellow. Smells like pineapple. Here we go. That's much different than I expected. It's not very sweet. It's actually lacks sweetness. The pineapple hits first, and then there's something after that. Maybe the ginger or turmeric or something. There's a little bit more of a complex second act in that taste. I mean, if you don't like overly sweet drinks, this is probably a pretty good option. I guess I'll have to see if I get any kind of other mood-lifting benefits from this as my day goes on. I'm gonna probably chug this whole thing. I like that it's not overly sweet, but that comes with a little bit of a trade-off because the flavor is a little bit on the bland side compared. The pineapple's nice. The other layers of flavor are also pretty nice as well. I also believe there's no caffeine in this as well. On the can, they say it's a better than alcohol alternative. It's made for those chasing a new feeling. We call ours the float. So I guess what I'll need to do is I need to chug this whole thing and see if I'm floating. No hangovers and a happier, healthier you. I'm gonna chug this whole thing. It's going down and we'll see if I'm floating afterwards. Because we all float down here. I'm ready to start floating right now. But this part of my taste test is over. I think I've had enough to eat today and enough to drink today. I'm waiting for this float to kick in. I'll let you know if I start floating. Otherwise, on with the vlog and we'll see what I can get up to next. You know, if I was to rank everything that I tried earlier today, I would say number one would be the Guinness. That was rock solid. That was solid. Behind that would be the two Frosties. I would say the chocolate slightly above the vanilla. So Guinness, chocolate Frosty, vanilla Frosty. I would say that the Mr. Bubble and the Hiyo are below that, but here's the thing, the Mr. Bubble, I would never drink that because I mean, it didn't taste bad. It's just like bubblegum flavor. I wouldn't do it. So I'm gonna put that one at the bottom. So I'm gonna put the Hiyo above that. I'm not saying the Hiyo was great, but I will say, could be coincidence, the power of suggestion, but I was in a pretty good mood for a while after that. So it's possible, not entirely sure, but it's possible that maybe it did boost my mood a little bit. I mean, I didn't feel like buzzed or drunk or anything, but I was kind of in a good mood for a while afterwards. So I don't know. I'll have to try that one again because it's kind of interesting. But that's my ranking and I'm sticking with it. And if I try it all again, maybe my rank will be different. Guinness ice cream, gotta try it. Only at Whole Foods. This is not a sponsored post. This is recorded on tape before a live studio audience.
What do you know? The lizard is real.
Well, that's about it for this day. A quick postscript on the Wendy's Frosties. Now, I throw them in the freezer because I hate wasting them, but they're never quite as good when you put them in the freezer because they get harder. You put them in the fridge, they melt. So I started eating the chocolate one after dinner thinking I didn't want to waste it. It turns out in the freezer, all of the syrup sank to the bottom. So my last two bites were nothing but like banana syrup. I enjoyed it, but it kind of bothered me having just two mouthfuls of just straight syrup. But I think I've said and done enough today. So I'm gonna go inside and listen to some Bad Kiss lyrics and call it a day. But I appreciate you guys watching and I'll see you next time.